The Golden State Warriors have been one of the hottest teams in the NBA since acquiring Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline. But did they just lose Steph Curry? We've got an injury update on the sweet shooting star. I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe right here. So a scary moment last night between the Golden State Warriors and the Toronto Raptors. Steph Curry, you can see here, driving to the basket and gets clipped. It's taken out in midair, lands hard on his back, on his tailbone, and he was down in a lot of pain. You can see him here, went to get up, winds up staying down for a bit, eventually is going to limp off to the locker room. Certainly a scary moment for Warriors fans. We all know how much Steph means to that team. We all know how much Steph means to the league. The NBA, certainly one of the brightest stars in the league, and there he is down and in a lot of discomfort, and you can see him gingerly walking there to the locker room. Well, now we've got an update on his status. And I could say, well, it's not maybe the best update. It's also not the worst. Could be far worse for Steph. So here's the update from Shams Charania on Steph's injury. The MRI on Warrior star Steph Curry's pelvic area confirmed a contusion and no structural damage. That's fantastic. But Curry is expected to miss the start of their 6-game road trip beginning Saturday in Atlanta as he receives treatment over the next few days. Okay, so the downside is obviously he is going to miss games. This isn't he's going to bounce back right away and be fine type of situation. He is going to miss time on the floor, and that could be potentially damaging to the Golden State Warriors. Take a look at where they're at right now. They are trying to make up ground in the West. They're trying to make a push up in the standings. They definitely don't want to be in the play-in, and they are up just one game in the loss column right now on the Clippers. And ideally, they would like to track down the Memphis Grizzlies, who have been, kind of hot and cold lately. You see the Warriors are 9-1 in their last 10. The Memphis Grizzlies 5-5 in their last 10. They would like to track down that team and wind up maybe getting into the 4-5 matchup right now. That would give them a matchup against the Lakers in the first round. Maybe they could move up even farther. The way they've been winning games, if a few teams around them stumble a bit in the West, the Warriors could, not likely, but could see them slide up into the middle of the pack of the playoff teams in the Western Conference. That is now going to be much more difficult to do, though, with Steph Curry missing at least the beginning of this road trip, particularly at this stage of the season, because the Warriors only have 12 games remaining. That doesn't give them a lot of time to move up in the standings. But I want to take a look at the Warriors' schedule and what this is going to mean and when exactly we can project Steph Curry to return. Going to get to that in just a moment. First, quick shout out to our sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. They do a fantastic job with daily fantasy sports. You guys can check them out. Use our promo code Bulletin and the link in the description down below, and you can get a guaranteed $50 on your first $5 played. So let's make a few quick selections here just to show everybody how easy it is on Prize Picks. Jalen Green, 19.5 points against Miami. You know what? I actually feel more comfortable with the Dylan Brooks one just because Green can be so hot and cold. This is an easier play to win. That's why you got the little goblin guy on it. A more difficult play to win with the Demon, Mike Conley, 9.5 points. You know what? Let's roll the dice. They're actually 8.5 rebounds for Amen Thompson. I'm going to go with that one. I'll go with that one. We'll mix in an easier play with a more difficult play to win. And then let's throw in one other. Let's see what we can find here. Alex Sarr has really started to come into his own. Had a really big game last time around for Washington, 14.5 points. I'm going to say he's going to get that. So we went more on all three of these. $10 would win $47.50. If you guys want to check out Prize Picks, again, use the link in the description down below and then use that promo code Bulletin. Get a guaranteed $50 on your first $5 played. All right, so the Warriors badly needing to continue to win games in order to move up in the Western Conference if they want to have a shot at it. Now, again, I will say, just because there's not much runway left, there's not many games left, it's going to be difficult to make up a lot of ground in the West. Again, how many more games is Memphis going to lose? How many more games is, say, the Lakers going to lose? But there is a benefit here for the Warriors when we take a look at their schedule. So if you see right now, the Warriors, fairly light schedule here at Atlanta. Okay, without Steph, can you win that game? Sure. Still can't. Now, the Hawks can be feisty on any given night, so it's certainly not a guarantee. I mean, we've seen some crazy outcomes in games lately, so nothing is a guarantee right now, but that's not bad. at Miami. Miami's been really struggling, and there's 2 days off in between, right? So you've got Atlanta coming up tomorrow, and then 2 days off, the 23rd and 24th, before you have to play Miami. So that's good too, because it's spreading out. And then you get another 2 days off before you go play at the Pels. So you look at that, you've got the next 3 games, but there's 2 days off while they are traveling. The Warriors are traveling. This is one of the nicest road schedules I think I've seen on the season. A lot of times we're seeing back-to-backs on the road. We're seeing 1 day off between games on the road. No, the Warriors, they happen to have at this portion of the schedule 2 days off between games. That's going to help Steph Curry get back. Now, again, this is going to be something, if it's something where he is moving gingerly, he's moving differently out on the floor, the Warriors are going to have to be careful with it, because that can open you up to other injuries, right? If he's moving differently because he's in so much pain, he's so sore from that nasty fall, well, that could potentially lead to other injuries. So they're going to be careful with Steph Curry, but this is not bad. When we look at the schedule, Atlanta, Miami, and the Pelicans, and you have 2 days off in between, the fewer games you can play in any given time period right now, the better, because that just gives Steph more time to come back. But let's say he's out for at least the first 3 games, at least, of this road trip. Then they go at San Antonio. Then here's the day. Here's what the Warriors are really looking at. Steph needs to be back by the end of the road trip. Why? Because it's Memphis and the Lakers. They finish off their road trip against the Memphis Grizzlies and the Lakers, which again are 2 teams that they're trying to catch in the standings. So if they could win those games, that would go a long way, especially the win. They're only a game back in the loss column up to Memphis. If the Warriors can continue their winning ways without Steph, pick off some wins against some weaker teams like the Hawks, like the Pelicans, pick up some wins there, and then go into Memphis and get a win. Next thing you know, especially if the Grizz drop any of their upcoming games, next thing you know, the Golden State Warriors can find themselves in the 5 seed in the West. That looks very, very doable, given the way right now the Warriors are playing, and given how the Grizzlies have been playing. They've been without Ja Morant. They've lost their last 2 games. They've got a game against the Clippers coming up, and the Clippers have been playing pretty well. They're on a 4-game winning streak. So Memphis, by the time this Memphis and Warriors game comes around, that could very well be for the 5 seed. This game could be for the 5 seed on April 1st, and then they take on the Lakers, who they're also chasing. And again, the Lakers, they got blown out last night by the Bucks. They essentially put their G League team out there. The Lakers do have a bit of a lighter schedule coming, but still, that Lakers game could be a big one too if they're looking to move up. However, the schedule doesn't stay nice for the Warriors the entire time. Again, so if you're Steph, trying to come back by these games here, maybe you get the San Antonio game under your belt, get back into a rhythm, because you got to be ready for Memphis and the Lakers. Those games are going to matter a ton in the standings. Then you've got Denver, second night of a back-to-back. Denver seems to get a lot of these, don't they? They catch teams on the second night of a back-to-back. I think geographically it's because of where they are. It's easy to make them the second night of a back-to-back when you're on the road. But although I guess this is a home game for the Warriors, but still, they get Denver, second night of a back-to-back. That's tough. Houston, so the schedule does get more difficult here. Memphis, the Lakers, Denver, Houston. Phoenix is not playing good basketball right now. They're falling backwards into the 10 seed. You get San Antonio again, then Portland and the Clippers. That game may end up mattering. The 13th, that game against the Clippers may ultimately determine seeding in the West. But so it does get more difficult. But the good thing is the time period that Steph is most likely to be out for is the time period that they're going to have the easier, the lighter games on their schedule. Not that Atlanta and Miami aren't threatening, but they're not the best either. They're not teams that you would look at and say, oh, the Warriors can't beat this team without Steph. And the same thing for the Pelicans. So I don't see any reason why the Warriors couldn't go 3-0 in this stretch. Now, again, you never know, and teams don't win every single game. But with how well the Warriors have been playing, they lean on Jimmy. You especially know Jimmy's going to have a little something extra on the 25th against Miami. And the Warriors may actually come out of this just fine as long as Steph can get back by these games, by this stretch. Memphis, the Lakers, Denver, Houston. Really important right there that he's back by that point. But he will have, what is this, a full week plus before that to heal up, rest up, and get back on the floor. So good news. It was a scary injury for Steph Curry. Could have been better, I suppose. Could have been. He's totally fine, and he's not going to miss any games. But Could have been a lot worse. And I think that was the fear for Warriors fans when it happened. So overall positive news. And I think the schedule is pretty favorable to the Warriors for them to be able to withstand this Steph injury and keep on rolling. But everybody give me your thoughts in the comments down below. Taking a look at the table. Where's this all going to end up? Where do the Warriors wind up? How does the West finish? The Warriors, we've been looking at 2 through 5. It may be very quickly becoming 2 through 6 that we really have to keep an eye on. What order does it all finish in? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe right here to the Basketball Bulletin on YouTube. Till next time, everybody. See ya and stay safe.